Well, here he is, one of the greatest in the history of mixed martial arts, Georges St-Pierre. It would come as no surprise that you would inevitably get into the UFC Hall of Fame, but the timing of the announcement must have been a little unexpected. How did you react when you found out?
Well, Dana White called me Saturday night, and at first when he called me, I thought he was trying to convince me to go back to fight, but I was very surprised. The Hall of Fame, it's a greatest honor someone can have when you retire. So I'm very happy. I'm thrilled.
Were you stunned watching the broadcast that it would happen on that night?
Well, he called me a little bit before that happened, so I knew it before it happened on the pay-per-view show. So I was very happy.
Well, when you think back on your career, remarkable as it is, what is the moment that you're most proud of?
Every fight has different feel. But the moment not the fight, but the moment, you ask me the moment I'm the most proud of is when I came back from being knocked down by a head kick by Carlos Condit in my fight. And come back after that sequence is the moment that I'm the most proud of my career, because it proved that I learned from my mistake. When I first lost to Sarah, I lost because of a bad decision of my part. I get hit, I was wobble, and I tried to get involved into a punching exchange instead of stepping on my ego and step back and accept the fact that I got hurt and recompose. So when I got kicked by Condit, I fall on the ground. I saw him coming. My ego wanted me to stand up right away and try to get back into the fight, but I accept the fact, and I knew that I was dazed because I learned from my mistake that I've done previously. So I laid on the ground and used the guard and the shield to recompose and come back into the fight. And that's the moment I'm the most proud of.
So a proud moment, and many other things to be proud of as well, including taking a lot of time off after being the longtime welterweight champion and then beating Michael Bisping and becoming middleweight champion as well. I mean, in terms of career accomplishment, that has to stand out as well, too, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about a moment is a moment, but a fight, I mean, the fight is a long fight. I mean, yeah, Michael Bisping fight is a great fight. I mean, I'm very happy I've done that. But the fight that is the most memorable for me is the fight in Montreal against Matt Serra. It was the first time they come in Montreal, and it was at home, and I felt very special to me to finally beat the guy that beat me before.
That's great. You joked earlier about Dana White calling you, and you were wondering if he was going to try to talk you out of retirement. Are you enjoying retirement more and more? Is the hunger to compete still there?
The hunger will always be there, and but the thing is, I always wanted to retire on top of my game, and unfortunately, in this sport, it's not a lot of guys that do that. Most guys, they get kicked out of the sport. I wanted to retire from the sport. I didn't want the sport to retire me, so to speak.
Many consider you to be the greatest fighter in the history of UFC. Do you believe that to date, that is true?
There's a lot of guys that can be considered a greatest fighter, and being the best fighter, it's something that does not exist. Let me explain that. There will always be someone that will beat you. If there's, for example, 3 guys, this guy can beat this guy, this guy beat this guy, this guy beat this guy. It's a clash of style. That's the art of fighting. And nobody is invincible. Even though the odds make you a favor for a fight, you might beat that guy 9 times out of 10, but that particular night, it's his night and he will beat you. So it's a very subjective argument. I mean, subjective debate. I mean, there's a lot of good guys, Anderson Silva, BJ Penn, John Jones, Henry Cejudo, who just retired Saturday, is one of them as well. So Royce Gracie, I mean, it depends what you're looking for. If you look for the role model, the victory, more title victory, the challenges he accomplished. So it's very hard, but I feel very very happy and very honored to be part of the Hall of Fame, to be considered like as one of the best of the guy. So I'm very, very thrilled.
I want to close out on this and ask you about Saturday night. UFC 249 coming at a very difficult time in the world, and just even in the context of sports, a lot of fans just craving live action. What did you think of it as a sports spectacle, especially with no fans in the stands?
It must have been a very strange experience for the athlete to compete under these conditions. I mean, it doesn't change anything. It's the same octagon, same opponent, but just the environment is different. And sometimes you change the environment, it could affect the result a little bit. So it must have been very special. I wasn't there, but watching it, it seems strange a little bit.
Well, it ended up being a very special night for you, even though you weren't there, of course, with the announcement. Multiple champion, one of the few to win titles in 2 divisions now, a Hall of Famer as well. Georges St-Pierre, thank you for this. Congratulations once again, George.
Thank you very much.